Hello everyone. It's been quite a while that we had a conversation last time. So today I'm thinking about sharing some horror experiences with you people that were experienced by my parents. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So here is the thing. The story revolves around the year 1982 when my mother was around the age of 6. So her her grandma's house was in North Kolkata in a place. So as you know that North Kolkata place filled with nostalgia, the place which have got very narrow lanes. So it was that sort of place. It was called Chaltabog, and it was a time when her maternal grandfather had passed away. So at that time, she had to go there because her mother and her family had also moved there because there was all those ceremonies going on for the funeral. And there were quite a lot of other relatives that have also came there because of the funerals, and at those times the relatives used to stay a longer time for any sort of ceremonies, whether that be funerals, whether that be marriages, or whether that be rice ceremony, like any of those. So there were relatives all over the house, and the house was quite big. But as you know, that my mother was the youngest of everybody there, so she was a bit lonely because there were nobody really to accompany her. So what she used to do is that she used to roam the house. And let me now tell you the place that the incident took place. It was on the second floor of the house where her maternal grandmother's room was there. And with the room there was an attached balcony. The balcony was pretty small and compact. And as my mother was small too, so she used to think that that place was just made for her because as she was small as well as that place was small, so she could get a personal space out there. And just before that house, there was a place where there was a press company, like there was a press where those newspapers used to be printed. So there was a tree, a wood apples tree. As you know that in Hinduism, wood apples leaves are very holy. They are meant to be holy. They are needed for the worship of Lord Shiva. So they were like her maternal grandparents' house. People used to take those leaves by making a hook out of TMT bar, and they used to pull those leaves because you know that the lanes of those places were very, very narrow, and it was very easy for them to get a hold of those trees and the property those were actually belonging to others. So they used to pull those leaves or those branches, and they used to take those leaves for the purpose of worship. Okay, so this was like the situation. So like that one day in the evening, my mother was roaming the house because in the ground floor all those relatives and her maternal relatives were having a discussion about what were to be done next. And as she was pretty much left out, so what could be done? Probably she was roaming. And on roaming, she went to her grandma's room. She went to the balcony like as usual she used to do. And then she noticed that there was a man, an old man, sitting on a branch of that tree. The man didn't have any clothes on his upper body. He wore a traditional dhoti on his lower part and was sitting on a branch of the tree. His legs were hanging out. He was not facing towards the building, but he was facing ourselves, like his back was facing towards the balcony. And my mother was like, oh man, this is just so fun. He has just went up there to get those wood apples or something like that, or he's just chilling around. So she thought that it would be better if I just told the adults that if I also could go there, or like what is the fun of getting on there. So she just went to the ground floor and told this to the other members. And they told that, what the heck? what did you just told? And she was like, yeah, I just saw a man sitting on a branch of the wood apples tree, and he didn't have any clothes on his upper body. He was just wearing a traditional dhoti, and his legs were hanging out. They're like, what the heck, this is impossible. And then two of her uncles, maternal uncles, they just asked her that, okay, take us to the place that you saw this. And she was like, okay, no problem, come on with me. She took them to that balcony, but it was just a span of a few minutes. But that man was nowhere to be seen. The man was nowhere to be seen. He was not even like a single presence, like there was somebody or something out there. That was real quick. And it is very astonishing for an old man to get out or get down from that tree that quick. Because it will take a lot of time, because, you know, wood apples trees are bigger, they are stronger, they are not like those little or short trees, they are larger. So then those two uncles say that, okay, I got the point. Then one of the uncles say that, go inside. They told to my mother. She was like, what happened? That uncle closed all the doors and windows of that room, closed the balcony's door, and then just rushed downstairs. And they told all the scenario to the other adults, but still those scenarios were not clear to my mom. As you know that she was pretty young at that time. Then one of her aunts went to the kitchen. She took 2 dried chilies and burned them on the gas burner. Then she took that and kept those smoke around her, because it is believed in Hinduism that the smoke of burnt dry red chilies usually spares off spirits. But she couldn't understand even a single bit of what was happening at that time. And after this, her own maternal grandmother went to the place where the gods were. She took the bottle of holy Ganges water. She sprinkled it on her, and she was like, what happened? But nobody told anything to her, except for this that was told by her uncles to her, that please do not go to that balcony or even the upper stairs. Do not take the upper stairs when it's during the dawn or when it's evening. You can go sometimes during the morning, but with the adults. Please don't go alone. So she couldn't understand even a single thing what was happening out there. She was like, what was the wrong going thing with me? What was wrong going with me? So after thinking this, she was like, okay, years passed by, and then she came to know of this fact that the owner of the press, which was just before the house, had passed many years ago. Like when he passed, then even her uncles were very small. So it was like they told that there were quite a lot of people who have noticed his ghost sitting on that same tree, because he was literally in love with that tree when he was even alive. So this is one of those experiences, horror experiences experienced by my mother. But the only difference is that she didn't knew that it was a horror side of thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if, then please don't forget to click on the like button, and please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Bye bye and take care.